Here we have the Leki Corklite trekking poles. These are from the Speedlock series. These are a basic 3-section aluminum pole. These poles extend to 135 centimeters. They come standard with a carbide tip and a standard size basket. The namesake of the series is the Speedlock mechanism. It's a fiberglass lever. The inner workings and tensioning cam are stainless steel. Tension is adjusted via what Leki calls the speed dial, which is this plastic gear wheel looking thing right here. So the story goes that Klaus Linhart, executive director of Leki, was on a hiking trip one day while he noticed that an egg and a banana were the perfect shape for a trekking pole handle. This is a Leki Ergon grip. This is a cork inlay. They call it Cork Tech. It's 80% ground cork. They don't list what the other 20% material is. The strap adjusts by pulling up on the top part, and there's a latch, and then you can adjust the length of the hand strap there and then pull back down to tighten it. These poles are very light at 17.6 ounces for the set. They're easy to adjust, they're strong, they've got a good balanced swing. They have a pretty solid feel for a light pole. When you strike the ground as you're walking, they don't wobble a whole lot, which I don't like in the very, very light poles. The grips, these cork-like grips, are actually quite weather resistant. They don't absorb water, or not much water, or sweat. The strap dries very, very quickly. It's a thin strap. But that brings me to the cons with these poles, is that when you tell me that something has a cork grip, this isn't exactly what I expect. And it's not that it's uncomfortable, it's just that when you think cork, you think something that's going to be a little softer and give a little more in your hands, and these don't really. The other thing that I found, that after long hours on the trail, over 5, 6, 7 hours of hiking, these straps, they didn't chafe, but they sort of became uncomfortable, and I didn't want to use them after I'd spent half a day in them. So one of the uses that I thought that these were really good for was hiking in wet weather. To this point, I've done about 220 miles of backpacking with these poles, and I did a long AT section hike with quite a bit of rain. And what I liked was these poles, they didn't absorb water, and the straps dried out really quick. So these were pretty good wet weather poles, and they were very light. The Ergon grip is one thing that, before you try any trekking pole, you really need to get your hands on it. You know, this grip style may not be for everyone. Some people may like a larger diameter grip. All the Leki grips tend to be fairly small in diameter, at least the ones that I've tried so far. So you really want to get your hands on these before you invest in them. But all in all, these are good poles. And if the grip suits you, I think you get a lot of good use out of these. Hope this helps.